Stocks surged to their second best day of the year, with all the major indexes rising 2%. The catalyst, the Fed, more on that in a minute, and a perceived ever so softening of tone in trade tensions. The Chinese Commerce Ministry said that the friction between the two sides should be dealt with through talks. With that, investors were in a buying mood. The Dow rose 512 points to 25,332. The Nasdaq climbed 194, wiping out yesterday's loss. And the S&P 500 added 58. Bob Pisani gets things started for us tonight.
Stocks started and ended in rally mode. After 6 straight weeks of declines in a volatile session yesterday, the Dow surged more than 500 points, having its biggest one-day gain since January 4th. There were a combination of reasons. First, Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell has said that the Fed is closely monitoring trade and will act as appropriate to sustain the economic expansion. All this is helping deflate some of the negative sentiment that's built up in the last few weeks. Also, easing trade tensions. We got some positive comments from China's Commerce Ministry that trade disputes should be resolved with talks, as well as some hopes for resolving the Mexican tariffs. Even the Republicans were considering a vote to block President Trump's tariffs on Mexico. Not surprisingly, the sectors that have been most oversold on these trade worries, the transports, the semiconductors, metals and mining, retail, they all bounced the most today. In fact, retail had its best day in 5 months, but that doesn't mean the sector is done feeling the results of tariffs. If you really want to see the effect of a trade war on stocks, look what happened at Tiffany. They had earnings today. The company noted same-store sales in the Americas were down 4%, which they said was due to far fewer Chinese tourists visiting the United States. A lot of damage elsewhere has already been done. So big transportation stocks were down double digits this quarter on these concerns about slower global growth. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.